I'm going to break with tradition for me and not spend time talking about the history of computing or anything like that. Instead, everybody's got their own natural laws. I've claimed a few of my own. I'm going to talk a little bit about Neely's fourth law, otherwise known as the focus figment, which says a tool is an instrument for limiting the types of work that you are able to perform. Now, lots of people have written about the effect our tools have on our thought processes, on our ideas, and so on. And so I find it very interesting to be able to use tools that give me a chance, or force me even, to think about things differently than I normally do. And the first one is actually what you're looking at right now. For generations, homeowners in America were thrilled to be able to go to their neighbors' homes and watch slides of their vacations using a device like this that had little pieces of film in cardboard frames, slide projector. Generations of students were thrilled at the expansion of knowledge that was available to them through the overhead projector. These things were still called slides, but they were now 8.5 by 11 sheets of transparent material with writing or printing or something on them. And generations of corporate workers were thrilled at the wonderful amounts of knowledge that were presented to them in these things that were still called slides, even though it was just sort of words projected on the screen. So maybe it's time to think about this a little differently. Prezi is a tool that lets you think about conveying information in a much more flexible way. It's a web-based system. You go to a website, you can build your presentation using the tools right there on the site. It lets you download the presentation onto your laptop, at least if you've got a Mac or PC, and drive it from there, which is what you're seeing here. I'm not using the network. There's also a fee-based option which will let you put a desktop app right on your machine and use it directly. The thing that I like is that the sense of movement, the sense of traversing this two-dimensional space gives you more of a sense of what's going on. You're exploring ideas. You're able to zoom in on details and see them a little bit better, or you can zoom out and get the big picture. But the attractiveness here is that you can visually take people on a journey from one idea to the next, which brings me to the next idea. What does National Novel Writing Month have to do with functional programming? And the answer is Dick Wall. In one of our sessions this morning, Dick was talking about the idea that learning a new style of programming, such as functional, may require that you stop trying to write perfect code. Just get some code done. Just jump in and write some stuff. See what happens. That's the same advice that's given to people who are participating in NaNoWriMo. It's the same advice you see professional writers using. Get the words on the paper. You can always edit it later. And one of the tools that's highly respected in the writing world is a tool called Scrivener. Now, we're all familiar with the idea attributed to Eric Raymond that all the great open source projects started as a developer scratching his own itch. And this is exactly where this came from. This product was actually developed by a writer who couldn't find something to do what he wanted, so he learned enough programming to be able to build his own tool. It's essentially a writer's workbench. It organizes your resources, organizes your thoughts, shuffle things around, rearrange them, just go all over the place. One of the ideas I really like is this virtual corkboard with virtual index cards that you can put stuff on, shuffle them around, put them wherever you want, like maybe, our card stories for Agile, something I want to explore with this. It also doesn't think it owns the world, so it can export into all manner of formats that are widely used. It calls it compiling, including ebooks. It also plays well with others. It uses Dropbox to synchronize writing projects between people or between machines. It synchronizes with tools like Index Card on the iPad, so it's willing to share information and allow you to collaborate. And you may be thinking, I'll never be able to afford a high-end writing tool like that. Some of us will probably spend more on coffee this week in Crested, Butte than the $45 license fee for this product. So, it's not platform locked. The product is currently 2.0 on the Mac platform, and there's Windows Beta in active development. And so this is just a quick look at some things that might help us as developers, as writers, to think a little bit differently, get outside the box, and look at a new world. Thanks.